Does
How
your
have we
one.
not figured out who it is yet?
All right, I'm ready. Whatever.
I'm ready. I was so far ahead, and then I got both of the ones that we were split on wrong in the fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still the Chiefs always find a way to win. Oh, the Bucks just took the lead.
Welcome back, everybody. NFL Week 10. We're officially in double digits of NFL weeks. Pretty crazy. I feel like this has gone by very, very fast. Welcome back to the Back Pocket Podcast. NFL Week 10 predictions. We are back. It's been good for us. As I said a couple videos ago, we all predicted very badly for like 3 weeks, and now we're kind of back. But as always, I'm joined by two of my lovely co-hosts, Charlie Nidell and Suraj Kadali. Gentlemen, how are we feeling? Obviously, recording mid-Chiefs Bucks game. So far, we'll bring up the channel rankings so far. I stay in first, as I have for many weeks, at 90 and 47. Dylan in second, 87 and 50. And Surge and Charlie both tied for third at 86 and 51. Keep in mind, this is one game not counted for because of the Chiefs Bucks. But
I feel like it was a nice bounce back week. Very disappointed in my performance last year. I feel like I'm making up ground as weeks go on and on. So, I'm feeling okay right now.
Feeling good. I think slowly climbing the way back up. I think I started out on top and then fell quickly to the bottom and then climbing again, but we'll see.
game one, good game. Thursday night, Bengals Ravens divisional. Obviously, the Ravens staying red hot. We had the episode that I wasn't on last week. We had the red hot argument between Lamar and Mahomes and who's the best quarterback in the league. And obviously the Bengals with the inconsistency of Joe Burrow. Obviously they win this week and they kind of need a win out for a guaranteed playoff spot. And this game is one that probably won't help them with that. It's again, it's a divisional game, so this will be close. Like this 100% will be a close game. I think this is hard to predict. Obviously, I would assume we're all leaning Ravens. And I guess I'll kind of, instead of just predicting the game, what do you guys think the Bengals need to do to win this game? And what do you think their chances are of winning this game? Because I wouldn't be surprised if they went out and won it because of the situation the Bengals are in.
Yeah, 100% agree. And the Bengals at this point are in a desperation position where they kind of need to win right now. They're 4-5. I'd say in a weak AFC, 9 wins gets you in the playoffs. So they need to go 5-3 at this point to make the playoffs. And the Ravens is a huge one if they can pick this game up. Defensively is where I'm concerned. They're both below average against the pass and the run. And when you have the Ravens, who are the best team, the best complementary team, at least on offense, I don't really know how you're going to stop them. Then again, Joe Burrow, 5 touchdown passes. Their offense looked fiery as ever. So I think they're going to just need to get into a shootout and this time win the shootout, which they didn't last time. I'm going to go with Baltimore here, though. I think Lamar and Derrick Henry have been too much for almost any team to handle. The Bengals defense aren't going to know what hit them. And I think the Ravens defense, at least, they haven't been great either, but they're a lot more capable than Cincinnati. So give me Baltimore here.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think that I actually would be kind of surprised if the Bengals went into Baltimore and won this one. The Ravens have been a better team this year, although not anything special. I do think, however, even with a loss, the Bengals' playoff hopes are not in the trash. Eight
No, yeah.
games left, and the Ravens is the clear toughest matchup. And then after that, it gets much, much easier with the Chargers, Steelers, Cowboys, Titans, Browns, Broncos, and Steelers, which are all, foreseeably winnable games. And they'll probably be favored in each and every one of those games. So I do think that they're going to come into this game thinking that a win would be huge to go 500. That being said, I don't see them going to Baltimore and getting a win off of, probably the MVP right now in Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, potentially the offensive player of the year in Derrick Henry. So I don't see it happening.
I think Derrick Henry right now is an easy lock for offensive player of the year. If he kind of
I
keeps
would
going,
say
he's
so.
going over 1,000 yards, over 10
I saw
touchdowns.
some
Like he's
people
been.
say Penei Sewell, but which would be awesome,
It's
but they're never going to give that to an offensive lineman.
I
it's
like
also
the
not
yeah.
true.
I mean,
It
he's been very good. I mean, he's
Yeah,
been the best.
but it's not
easily the
true
best
because he's
tackle.
also playing out of position right now, right? He's playing on the right side of the line, not the left.
He's the
Well,
right
he
tackle.
no, he's a right tackle.
Yeah.
I thought he was playing on the wrong side of the line this last
No,
week. I
he's the
forget
right
exactly
tackle.
what it was, but it's also sadly just not true because he's not offensive player of the year.
Mm.
That being said, it would be really cool if they went out and gave the award to an offensive lineman.
Yeah. Um, yeah, obviously big, and it's still a big game for the Ravens. They're still sitting in second. The Steelers have one less loss. and I kind of completely forgot kind of that the Ravens started off 0-2, and obviously that Browns loss I think might prove to be a little more important than maybe people saw
That
it as kind
and
of a
losing to
hiccup.
the Raiders, both of
Yeah,
whom are
obviously, yeah. But the
bottom
Browns was
feeders
like
in
a
the AFC.
really, I guess the Raiders and Browns kind of are in the same boat. But obviously bounced back last week, 41-10, destroyed Denver, and a good, not a bad Denver team, like a Denver team that looks good. I think Bo Nix has been very promising. I think we finally seen the Sean Payton agenda hit hard in Denver without Russell Wilson. Um, but yeah, I agree. I would think this is a Ravens win. They obviously went into Cincinnati a few weeks ago. They won in an overtime thriller. But I think the Ravens will be 2-0 against the Bengals this week. And we'll move on now to the continuous punishment of Europe by the NFL as they hand to them the Giants and Panthers at 8:30. Oh no, not for them. It's whatever, not at 8:30 in the morning. But yeah, I mean, again, Charlie, I'm a Giants fan. I love the Giants. I'm not watching this game. I guess it's 9:30 for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm the hour behind. Yeah, I mean, I
8:30
just
a.m. to watch the Giants and Panthers.
yeah. I don't. The Panthers won, I guess, against the Saints with Derek Carr back. So I mean, kudos to them. Charlie, I feel like in a game this bad, I'm gonna go with my team. I'm gonna go Giants here. Um, but I don't know. This is an awful game.
Yeah, look, Chelsea play Arsenal at 11:30 on Sunday, so this game will be turned off, yes, in the fourth quarter. Um, it's just like at a certain point, I read something today about the Giants, how look, I don't know about you guys, but I've been looking at the 2025 NFL draft just a little bit,
Yeah,
as we
more.
get a little bit closer. I don't see any of the five top quarterbacks as great fits in New York. Um, I love Cam Ward. I think he's a really good player, and I think Quinn Ewers is a really good player. But I don't think that any of them are worth, top three, top five picks in a normal year. So I think that the Giants' grand scheme at this point should be tanking next year for Arch Manning because that would just be incredible. Um, the sad thing is that means the team can change a lot in 2 years, and it's going to be hard to see what happens. And I'm sure the Panthers will have the same thing in mind. I can't consciously pick the Panthers over the Giants in this one because that would just be ridiculous of me as a Giants fan to pick them to lose against probably the worst team in the football league, in the National Football League.
In
Thank
the
you.
football league.
Um, it's the second time I've done that this year, I think. I
I
think
mean, it
that's the
is the
second
football
time.
league.
Words are hard sometimes.
Mm.
Words are really hard, especially when you've been rambling like me. Um, yeah, I'll take the Giants. I think when Malik Neighbors plays, the Giants are always in close games, and in a close game against the Panthers, I don't. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't see us losing. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants too. I think the Panthers. I
Whenever we
mean,
all pick the Giants, they lose.
yeah, but and Bryce Young, credit to him, he looked decent. I mean, he looked decent for his standards, for the standards of the Panthers, who have two rookie receivers starting for them, and they looked good against the
Who's
Saints.
the
But
second?
Jalen Coker,
I don't even know who that is.
he's actually been pretty good so far. But
Nice.
either way, I think the Giants are going to win this one pretty comfortably. The Panthers, I feel like, have the worst defense in the NFL, and even Daniel Jones is capable of that, of taking advantage of that when you have Malik Neighbors, Wandale Robinson, and Dable calling plays, who I still have faith in. And I think Dexter Lawrence is just going to blow this game up, and I think for that reason the Giants will win it.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll move on. Patriots Bears. The Patriots picked that. Um, I was we were so close to getting that right. Like there was the touchdown at the end of the game, and then they lost.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, in a Bears game that I also I or no, did we? Yeah, I picked and surprisingly blown out by the Cardinals, and I think I said, or it wasn't last week, the week before, I thought this would be the Caleb Williams. Like this is why we chose Caleb Williams. Obviously disappointing for them. I think the Bears will win this game. Um, and I honestly thought promising from Drake May. I thought we saw obviously the pick to end the game was disappointing, but the touchdown at the end was fantastic improvisation, and he found Ramondre Stevenson. Again, not a super interesting one for me, in this window, but I think the Bears will win it.
Yeah, I agree. Other than Caleb versus May, there isn't really a lot to write home about. I mean, the Bears are kind of themselves in a mini collapse. I mean, after that Hail Mary getting trounced by the Cardinals, doesn't seem like there's a lot of faith within the organization with Matt Eberflus, and his seat starting to get a little bit warm. So this is a must-win game for them, and I'm going to take the Bears here just because, again, the Patriots on paper are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Drake May looks good, which is I think a solace point for them, but other than that, not really a lot to write home about. Their defense has regressed. Their offense is still the Patriots offense, so give me the Bears here.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Bears in this one. You all will know that I'm the biggest Bears hater there is right now. I haven't even talked about him at all this season, but Matt Eberflus, I don't understand how he's an NFL coach. It just
He's a
doesn't
good
really add
defensive
up.
mind, but other than that, there's
But
just
he's not a
not a
head
lot to write.
coach. Maybe he's
I
a
agree.
DC in the NFL.
I agree.
But he's not a head coach. He doesn't know, clearly doesn't know how to manage a locker room very well.
Mhm.
And I'm speaking from personal experience. I've never met the guy. I've never been in the Bears locker room. He just doesn't seem to be doing a great job with a really talented group of players. And that's, comes down to a lot of player management skills. And maybe he doesn't have that. Maybe he does. I don't know. But it just seems like there's something missing there. And it's a lot of coaching mistakes in the last few years. And, um, with what's supposed to be such a talented group of offensive players, they just don't look it. Um, like they don't look close. The best player on that offense this season has probably been DeAndre Swift, who like it's DeAndre Swift. He's fine.
No, I think it's
But
been
anyway,
Caleb Williams.
I don't think so. I mean I think
Or I don't even.
Swift
Yeah,
is
I mean,
better.
I'm just really
But either
disappointed with the
way,
lack of getting Odunze
yeah,
like
I mean
the ball.
getting lack of
Yeah.
getting Odunze the ball, lack of getting DJ Moore the ball, lack of
Yeah,
getting
DJ
on the
Moore
ball.
has been had a really weird
They just
season.
haven't
He has
touched the ball.
not
And I
been
think and I don't want to like totally rag on Caleb Williams here because it's not completely his fault. The play calling hasn't been great. The coaching is not good. But at the end of the day, like it is the quarterback's job to get their best receivers the ball, and he's not doing perfectly at that. They've had games where he's done well at it. They've had games where he's done really badly at it. This past week was really bad. It was not a good one. Um, so yeah, I mean, I expect that to improve, but I am going to take the Bears in this one. This is a bounce back week for the Bears because the Patriots are such a bad team right now. Um,
yeah,
I could see it being a lot closer than we might think, though. May
yeah,
score a few points, maybe a 20-17 Bears win.
yeah. Move on. Another game in the 1 o'clock window. Niners, Buccaneers. Obviously, the Buccaneers currently playing and winning against the Chiefs. The 49ers were on a bye last week, right? Or they
they were. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. I honestly want to give credit to myself. I first have this weird intuition of when teams have buys. And like you guys know, like you're watching the 1 o'clock window and then you kind of like do other things. Like you don't fully know. So yeah, sorry. I was just
I mean, in
shouting
all
myself.
fairness, like if I watched football this weekend, I kind of know who didn't play.
Yeah, but like like you kind of watch and then like when the 3 o'clock window rolls or whatever, what is it for you guys? The 3 o'clock one, right?
4 o'clock.
Or the
Oh
four
my
o'clock,
God.
whatever. Like it rolls around, and you're kind of like you have like stuff to do, so like you're not fully like I can only rot and watch Red Zone for like 5 hours.
I wish I
That's a
could do the
I
whole
don't even watch
two
Red Zone.
windows. I wish I could. I wouldn't be watching Red Zone if the Jets are on, but we don't get them here, very sadly.
Wait, so why
Um,
don't you just pull up Stream East and watch the Jets game?
yeah.
Because my
It's
computer just
Surge.
acts
Surge
up.
isn't that like technologically advanced.
Wait, so
Exactly.
Serge, what do
I'm
you watch
like
Red Zone on?
my computer. I have YouTube TV
No,
on it.
but like what channel?
I don't know what specific channel. I just have
No,
YouTube
it's on
TV,
YouTube
so it just
TV,
pops up.
Charlie. Like Red
Oh, so
Zone's
don't
on
you
it.
get the Jets game on that?
No, because I don't have Sunday ticket.
Oh, so wait, how do you get? I don't know. Whatever.
Hmm.
I wish I had that.
Yeah. Nothing to do with the 49ers and the Buccaneers. But
Right.
look, do I think if the Buccaneers were to win against the Chiefs tonight that would drastically change who I pick here? Probably. Probably.
Hmm.
This is a tough one. I'm going to do my handoff. I
Um,
don't it's a tougher, I don't know. I think 49ers. Like you always kind of go with the better team. But I mean, if the Buccaneers can beat the Chiefs without two of their best receivers, that kind of sways my opinion a little.
yeah, I mean, big news for the Niners. I mean, finally Christian McCaffrey's window to
Back
be
and forth.
activated has started. So I don't think he'll be back this week, but he will be back hopefully for them sooner rather
That's
than
huge.
later. For this game, I think I have to go with San Francisco here. And honestly, Tampa Bay have really good depth in terms of receivers. Like even without Evans and without Godwin, you still have Trey
I
Palmer, a
mean,
solid
as
receiver.
far as depth goes for receivers in the NFL, yeah, but it's not like they're playing some fantastic
Oh
receivers.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that. But I think there aren't that many better 3, 4, 5 groups than Tampa Bay.
Yeah, agreed.
They're still capable NFL receivers.
Absolutely.
But against a defense like San Francisco, which also was a bit hampered, but at the same time, they're still a pretty good defense. I trust them to slow down Baker. I trust Brock Purdy enough to kind of move against the defense that's kind of hit or miss this season, I feel like. Um, I'm gonna go San Francisco here with another group that's also been tested with their receiver depth. I think they'll be fine this week though. I'll give me San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think I will take the Niners in this one. I'm tempted to take the Bucks because I think that the Bucks are really doing okay this year. I think they're doing a very good job with the group they've got. Um, Baker's been impressive. They're currently beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hmm.
Um, but I am gonna go with Niners. I think that's just a look now that Debo's back, now that there's the news of McCaffrey being back. Kittle's been
McCaffrey's
superb this
aura will
year.
just let them win.
Yep.
I mean,
McCaffrey doesn't even
we've
have
seen
aura.
crazier things happen. Like not in the same way, but he
Yeah.
does.
Mm,
But yeah, I'm gonna take the Niners and I think uh in a close one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go Niners as well. Look, I think it's a Buccaneers team that'll make the playoffs, and I think it's with Evans and Godwin, even though they won't have Godwin, is a extremely good team, and Baker's good, but I think the Niners will win this one. I think the Niners will want this one a little more because they're not doing as well as they thought they would be. We'll move on to the next one, Broncos Chiefs. Obviously, the Broncos coming off getting their ass handed to them. I don't think this game will be much different. Although the Chiefs are a little more methodical,
mm.
uh, I think that this will still be a pretty convincing Chiefs win, especially if they lose to Tampa Bay today. Look, I like Bo Nix, and I statistically Bo Nix has been the best rookie quarterback over the past, I think it's like 4 weeks. He has the most touchdowns, most rushing touchdowns, I think most passing yards. Um,
I don't think passing yards, but yeah,
and
I
maybe
know touchdowns.
uh yeah, I'm not sure which one it is.
Hmm.
However, I do think and good for me, or not good for me. Good for Bo Nix. We hated on him a lot. Um, I guess not as much as
I'm offended.
we do choose that one player in draft season. We just hope that he's like the worst thing ever. Um, like we got
Caleb
it right
Williams.
the year before with Trayvon Walker, and I saw him the other
Who had a
day.
fumble recovery touchdown this weekend?
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean you just got to
It was
see the
him.
ball, pick it
It
up,
was
and
Trayvon.
run.
I believe so, yeah.
It's so funny. Like he comes up on the screen, I'm like, damn, you guys actually could have had Aiden Hutchinson, like literally the best defensive player, like when he was healthy.
You could have had
Mhm.
like any number of like
Yeah.
nine or ten guys who was
No one
drafted in
talks
the top
about it
10.
too.
It's insane. It is actually
It's
insane.
like you
But
there
it's
are a
not that
couple guys when I look back at drafts that I'm just
Kayvon
like, how
Thibodeau they
did you
could
go
have
that
had,
high?
right?
I'm
Mm.
just like when I look back to the I think the 2019 NFL draft, Cleveland Farrell was the number 4 overall pick to the Raiders.
No, but Charlie, it's not even that. It's like Trayvon Walker was taken, and every single person before the draft was like, take Aiden Hutchinson. Trayvon Walker is not good. Like nobody liked Trayvon
I mean,
Walker.
he's solid. He's not terrible. It's just
He's
it
also
never
not
made
good.
it
Everybody
never
was like,
made
this makes
sense.
no sense. Why would you not take Aiden Hutchinson? Or Thibodeau. They're so clearly better than this guy. Like it's one of our biggest clips is Dylan like literally like destroying this man for like his character and everything. He's like, I don't understand how this guy's even getting drafted. Like he's awful. Yeah. Again, random tangent. I think
It's
the
just
Chiefs will
it's
win.
just the defensive players that went in the top 5 that
Mm.
year were Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, Derek Stingley, Sauce Gardner, and Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
And the worst one went first.
Uh,
I mean, you got
Thibodeau and Walker are relatively comparable, I would say.
that's insane.
No,
You have
but
you have 2 Pro Bowl caliber edge rushers and 2 Pro Bowl caliber corners, and then Trayvon Walker.
I wouldn't say Thibodeau's Pro Bowl caliber. I'm gonna move on anyway though to the Chiefs Broncos game. I think this one is, yeah, I think Kansas City win this relatively comfortably. I don't like Bo Nix as much as a lot of other people do. I mean, a credit to him, he has had some good games with the mediocre, like a bad supporting cast. But I also think he is very prone to just missing layup throws. We saw that a couple times against Baltimore. He just has either a good game or one of the worst games you've ever seen. I feel like against Spagnuolo in that defense, he's going to have that kind of game. I think Kansas City rules here.
Yeah, I'll take KC pretty easily on this one. Um, I mean, Bo Nix has the most touchdown catches of any rookie quarterback.
That's true.
No, I do think Bo Nix has looked pretty good this year, and I said it a few weeks ago. He just kind of looks the part. I know he's not the greatest quarterback yet, and he makes, as you said, good plays and he makes bad plays, but he just sort of looks the part of an NFL quarterback. And when you see those good plays, you think, wow, he has a lot of potential to go do something really special in his career. And then sometimes you see bad plays and you're like, damn, and they wasted a first round pick on him. So every week, every play, it just depends on what Bo Nix you get. I like to think that he is improving as the weeks go, and I really think he is. But this is a Chiefs win. I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
it's a low scoring one though, because the Broncos have probably the best defense in the NFL right now.
No, their
So,
defense still
um,
is good. I still do like their defense. The problem with for me with Bo Nix is that I do agree with you that he's improving, but I just don't think the amount of the boneheaded plays that we see, I don't think it's justified just because I don't really see the same ceiling that I see with the other top guys in this class, like with Caleb, with May, with Daniels. I
I
just
don't think anybody
don't.
does though.
but I
No, I
also
agree,
think
but
that
I just
you,
don't think it was worth it still taking a top 12 pick, even if he's looked fine for a rookie quarterback.
He's looked
but
good.
I
He's definitely
also
not looked
think
fine.
that
He's looked good he's looked good. They're five and
I
three.
also
They're
think
five
that
and
Yeah,
four
you're
now.
you're
I think that's more
definitely.
defense. I give
I
credit
mean,
to the defense for that. I think he's also for a rookie quarterback, he's been decent. He hasn't been great. I think he has great games, but he also has terrible games. I would say he's looked fine because of that, because I think
I
that's
I
acceptable
think
for a
you're
rookie.
I think you are definitely overstating how bad he's looked
Yeah.
because
And I didn't
he
even like him.
you say
I
he
watched
makes
the game
you
against the
say he
Jets.
makes
He was
boneheaded plays,
not
but we watch
he
other
was
quarterbacks in the
terrible.
NFL make plays that are so much worse that
Yeah,
it makes it look so
but
much
the guys
better.
that you're probably thinking of are better than Bo Nix.
What?
The guys that you're thinking of are better than Bo Nix. Like you can make a boneheaded play, but also still be a top 10 quarterback in the league. I don't think Bo Nix has
No,
that
no, I
potential.
no, I'm looking at other guys who are not top 10 quarterbacks in the league that are making far more boneheaded plays than Bo Nix is.
Hmm. No, I
And
agree. But those guys either are better players than Bo Nix or have higher ceilings than Bo Nix. Or there's some guys that are worse than Bo Nix. I will give you credit for that.
so
But
so so but it seems like you're saying that you just don't think Bo Nix is a good quarterback because in order to be in the same conversation as him, they're either worse than him or better than him. But there are very few that are worse. The other ones are just better but make worse plays.
wait, what are you trying to say?
All right,
I'm
whatever. The
Like,
confused
Chiefs are
now.
winning.
okay, whatever.
Next
Isn't it
game
crazy that isn't it crazy that Mahomes has more interceptions than touchdown passes
St-
this year.
this season?
Wow. The more you know.
Like
A lot
Daniel
of those
Jones
have a
type
lot of
season.
All right. We'll move on.
Like what? What? A lot of those are what? He's got more interceptions than touchdowns. I don't care what they are.
well, if you do look at the interceptions, a lot of them have not been his fault at all.
His fault or not, it's more interceptions than touchdowns.
No, I
It's
agree.
just as
I
much a
agree.
statement on how little touchdowns he's thrown as how many picks.
No, I agree. I agree. But I still think also a lot of times their touchdowns have been 1 yard rushes, short rushes. He's still leading the team down the field. They still have an efficient offense despite not having a great supporting cast. I mean, he's still
He has less yards than Bo Nix
We'll
this
move
year.
on to the next game. Bills Colts. Bills will win.
yeah, Bills are
Bills
winning. This
win.
one's pretty easy. I don't know why the Colts. I mean, I know why, but I think it was a stupid decision to bench Anthony Richardson.
I agree.
They're not doing anything either way. They needed to give their young guy the reps. Bills win easy.
I think that there is a clear reason why they benched Richardson, and it's because it was embarrassing watching him play.
Well,
That's a
this
guy who
was
makes
In
That's a guy
terms
who
of,
makes far more boneheaded plays than Bo Nix does.
Yeah, but I think that he
but
makes
that's
less
one
the
of the
more
guys
you
that I
give.
but that's what I'm talking about. He's a guy that has a vastly higher ceiling than Bo Nix, and B, I think comparatively to he's not starting. I'm not saying he's better than Bo Nix. I'm not even saying he's better than Joe Flacco, but this team either way not going anywhere. And statistically, they actually had against the Vikings, which albeit is a great defense, they had their worst performance of the season EPA wise. They were not able to move the ball passing wise, rushing wise, which I think even if Richardson isn't running, having him in the backfield as a threat is something that you can give him credit for. Is something that makes this Colts rushing attack better than people give it credit for. So I think Richardson definitely should have still started, or at least if you don't like him, bench him at the start of the season. That's my thoughts. But either way, Bills are winning this one.
Yep.
Yes. We'll move on now to the next one. Actually, very good game. One that would not be last year. Steelers, Commanders. Obviously, the Commanders' first
Mm.
7-2 season since I don't remember. I saw the post, but I forgot. But since a while. And the Steelers, obviously, the top of their division, surprisingly, and looking for a win this week. If the Ravens are to drop that game against the Bengals, pretty big week for the Steelers. Obviously, Commanders have been fantastic. A team that you obviously, I think they've been the most surprising team this season. They've been definitely the dark horse team that's been
Hmm.
good. Um, yeah, I mean, I think they'll win this game as well.
Yeah, this
I don't.
is
This is the toughest one because
this
obviously
is
Steelers
really
defense has
tough.
been incredible.
This is really tough. The Steelers do have a great defense. The Commanders' defense themselves have really they started off the season very poorly, but they've been picking it up recently as well. And I think they could also slow down the Steelers offense. But I think at the same time, I trust the Steelers defense. I trust Mike Tomlin to make this game ugly. I think they're gonna get pressure on Jaden Daniels. They have T.J. Watt. They have Alex Highsmith. Hell, they even have Nick Herbig, who's been having a good year as well. I think they're gonna make Jaden Daniels' life difficult today, especially on Sunday. Sorry, and I also don't think the Commanders have great receiving options outside of Terry McLaurin. Something that I think Mike Tomlin is gonna take away, and I think the Steelers are gonna win this one. It's gonna be ugly. It's not gonna be fun. I think we all want the fun team to win, but the Steelers have done this for longer than the Commanders have. I trust Mike Tomlin. I trust the Steelers.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I think that Jaden Daniels has been far too good for him to just get put in a box by a defense who has been,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
good
be
this season,
surprised
but
though.
not.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised
wouldn't
if it
be
was his welcome to the
surprised.
NFL moment. It was like, whoa, wait a minute.
I would.
All guys are destined
He
to
is
fall eventually.
so incredible, and I it's gonna be a great matchup watching TJ Watt try and sack him
Yeah.
because
Mm,
TJ Watt is DPOY maybe at this point.
mm.
Dexter Lawrence.
I still think Dexter Lawrence probably has him
Dexter
beat
Lawrence
out.
up there.
Dexter Lawrence is
But
the
TJ
defense player of
Watt
the year right now.
TJ Watt is the best edge rusher in the NFL, and Jaden Daniels is so incredibly elusive that it's almost impossible to sack him. And I think we're in for a really good matchup. This Commanders offense versus Steelers defense. I think we won't be seeing as much on the other side of the ball, at least not as much anticipation on the other side of the ball. Um, I'm going to take the Commanders in this one because at home, Jaden Daniels, they have not lost there yet. 4-0 this season. Uh, yeah, give me Daniels and the Commanders.
Yeah. Move on
Keenan, who did you pick?
to Commanders.
Okay, and that is
Um,
our first split. That's the only one that we've gotten different.
Mm.
Sorry.
I think, yeah, I think Dylan, yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll move on to the next one, Vikings, Jaguars, and the Vikings are going to win.
Yep. That's pretty easy. I don't really think I have to say much about this one. The Jaguars are I mean, I'm surprised Doug Peterson isn't gone at this point. They're a bad team on both sides of the ball. I do feel for Trevor Lawrence. I feel like sometimes when I watch him, a lot of the stuff that happens around him is not his fault at all.
Definitely not.
And against this defense, they're going to take advantage of the inferior skill set, inferior coaching. Give me Minnesota here.
Yeah, easy Vikings win.
Yes. Now, This game is not that exciting. Falcons
Falcons
Saints.
Saints.
I mean,
Ugh.
no, it is more now with Carr back. I guess obviously the Saints with kind of a shocking loss.
Carr back, but no Olave.
Yeah,
Dennis Allen
obviously
fired.
prayers
I
up
mean,
to
maybe that's a
Olave. That
bump.
was an extreme.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it it is the sport. We all love it. It's just it is tailored to for people to get injured. Like that's just how it is when you have
Well, also
large
when you have
grown age
Derek Carr
men.
as your quarterback, Michael Thomas said it. Like
Yeah.
that
Yep.
man threw so many hospital. I don't hate Derek Carr. I think he's been a slightly underrated quarterback for the last decade or so. He hasn't been great, but he hasn't been terrible.
Derek
But he
Carr's been in the league
throws,
for a decade. That's
but
crazy.
he throws so many hospital passes. It's scary.
I
He
yeah,
throws the ball up like it's not good.
look, I don't I agree with that. I don't know. And again, I'm not an expert on this in any way. I just think as generally a safety who make these plays, I just think there's a safer way to tackle. Like I think there's always a safe like
That was
obviously you're
it
going
wasn't required. It wasn't a required hit, I feel like.
I obviously you
You
always
can't
as an
take
NFL player, there's always that hype like you hit someone big and it's it's a highlight
Mhm.
reel and it's great, but I just think and again, this is obviously not going through their head as they, make the play. Um but I just, yeah, again, like I just think there's a lot of the hits you see and you're like, that probably could have been avoided. It's
Mhm.
generally the kind of thing where Olave's coming across the field, the corner is on him and would have obviously tackled him as he caught the ball. And then you have an opposing force of not only the corner pushing Olave trying to tackle him and then the other guy. So it
Yeah,
just
he got
disrupts the
sandwiched.
play.
That was ugly.
It's
Just like
just,
I
yeah,
can't watch it. I couldn't watch
I
after the
know. It's
first few
just,
rounds. It's
I
really
do think there's
crazy.
a lot of avoidable hits, and I do think it needs to be penalized more. Not that it hasn't been more and more over the past couple years, but again, I just think, it's his fifth concussion since 2021, I think, or something like that. And it's just
Yeah.
like, it's just not sustainable. It's the same thing with Tua, and I don't think he should be playing football anymore. And you obviously saw my rant on that. I
Mhm.
mean, just five concussions in the span of that time, it's just your lifespan decreases and decreases and decreases. And I think for something like that, it could have been avoided. That being said, I think the
Yeah.
Falcons will win.
Yeah. Falcons winning this one pretty comfortably with all that being said. I think even maybe they could get a bit of like a new coach bounce, but other than that, the Saints are pretty helpless right now, especially with no Olave too. Who are they throwing the ball to? I, I just Falcons win this one pretty
Yep.
comfortably.
Yeah, agreed. I think this is a Falcons win. I don't see the Saints bouncing back after losing to the Panthers like that. Maybe in an easier matchup they could, but this one, I don't think so.
Yes, we'll move on. Titans, Chargers, and the Chargers will win.
Yeah, Chargers will win this one. May I say this? The Chargers are the best defense in the NFL right now. They've only allowed 20 points
Serge, I noticed
once.
that last week, and
Yeah,
I'm
they've
like,
been
yeah, they've been
Jesse Minter,
fantastic.
man. I said it before the season. He is going to
No,
be
you
one of the
didn't.
best defensive. I did. I
No, I
did.
remember you said,
I actually
"Yo,
wrote an
Jesse
article.
Minter is gonna be average, but when he's good, I'm gonna say that he's really good." You said that to me and Charlie.
Bro. All
I
right.
actually remember
All right.
Serge saying something along the lines of Jesse Minter's going to be one of the worst coaching hires we've ever seen, and he's going to be fired
All
by
right.
week
And that's it for
8.
the video.
But
Thanks for
when he's
watching. Make sure to
good,
like and
I'm going to say that
subscribe.
I said he's really good.
Yeah,
Mm. But anyways, like I said, I think this is the best defense in the league, and I think Minter has done a great job elevating the talent around this team. I think we've seen guys that we wouldn't have expected to be really good be really good. The guys like Aloe Gilman, Elijah Molden, Deion Henley has had a really good season, and obviously you have Mack who is still producing at a high level. I think with Tennessee, they're one of the worst offenses in the league. They're going to be in for a really rough day. I think Herbert has been playing really good football recently as well, even with that kind of very mid receiving core. So I think the Chargers will win this one pretty comfortably.
Harbaugh effect, man. He's been good.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I
think
think he's done the exact thing that Harbaugh like he was expected to do. Like the Chargers have been a good roster, they've just underperformed, and he's basically made the Chargers play at the level that they should have been playing the past 3 years.
They're not as flashy as they were the previous 2 seasons, but they're a more sustainably built team. They're built better
Yeah.
in the trenches. They're built better to just defense in general. They're a team that's more equipped to win for the future.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm gonna take the Chargers on this one pretty easily too. I don't know if I would say best defense in the league right now, but they're definitely in my top 3. And they may be the number one. I don't, I'd have to go through it, but definitely up there. They're doing a great job. I said Jesse Minter was going to be incredible. I said it at the beginning of the season.
Mhm.
Um, So yeah, give me
Yeah.
the Chargers.
Next game, Jets Cardinals, which I actually think has a chance to be one of the games of the week. Obviously, the Jets, and again, as a friend of Surge and as kind of a
Mm.
Jets, not supporter, obviously, not at all, but I've always had a soft
Sympathizer.
spot, sympathizer. I think we saw some amount of click last week, whether that be the Garrett Wilson absolutely ridiculous catch, and it's only that catch. Of course, he would like get his shin down. Like if you look at that catch in real
Yep.
time, like oh, like wow, what a catch, but no way that's in.
Yep.
Um,
That was like
yeah,
a
that was
rule of cool. You had to count that. That was
yeah,
just
yeah. No, exactly.
that was
I
so
honestly
honestly, I
do
think it
feel
might
like
be
for
the
like
greatest play I've ever seen a Jets player make. Just absurd.
yeah.
Um,
Obviously, I will say do not ever compare this in any way to Odell Beckham's catch.
Yes.
It will never ever be anywhere near that. There will never be a catch like that. Just want to put that out there. Great catch
mm,
though, however.
it's
Very good
fair. You know
catch.
what? I
It was
respect it. I
it was a
respect
week
it.
for good catches. Who had the who was it? Oh yeah, the Jordan Addison one against the who they play
Yep.
this week?
And
Who did they
Devontae
play last
Smith
night?
and
Yeah.
Demarcus Robinson.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
great day
Devontae
for a great
Smith.
guy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I
Um,
think like Slayton had a pretty nice catch.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yet none of those catches were the best play of the week. It was
Surge, I
Saquon.
wanna as yeah, that was unreal. Well, when we get to the Eagles, oh no, next game.
Mm.
Surge, I will pass it to you as a Jets fan. Who do you think's gonna win this game? Because I know I have my pick, but I want to hear if
As a Jets fan, it's so obvious the Cardinals are winning this. This is the game where they give you they give you hope. They make you think, oh, that maybe they can put it together, but they'll lose this one. And it's not as basic as that. I mean, I think the Cardinals' rushing attack is one of the better groups in the league, and they're tailor made to kind of exploit a weak Jets run defense. And their defense, I feel like, has been getting better. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like they have the guys to do it, but they haven't been that bad defensively, and I think they will kind of they won't totally shut down this offense. I mean, when you have Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, and Brees Hall and Aaron Rodgers, who can still at times be great, you're not going to shut this offense down completely, but they're going to slow them down a bit. I think more so than the Jets defense will to the Cardinals, because I think the Cardinals offense is just going to stay on the field for long periods of time, make this Jets defense tired, and I think that's going to be the difference. So give me Arizona.
Yeah, I'm with you. The odds makers love the Jets so much.
yeah,
And
they
And
it's
do,
if
yeah.
I think it's not even unfair, because when you look at the like metrics and how this team has lost, a lot of it has been very close, very kind of marginal, whether it's a kicker missing a field goal, whether it's a stupid penalty, a
whether it's a
drop, item
22
like
point
that.
loss against the Steelers,
That was not a
like
22-point loss. I'm so sorry. We were winning that if Rodgers didn't throw that pick in the first half. It's a game of
so, but the
momentum.
score was 37-15.
Yeah. But I'm talking about in context. It wasn't as a blowout the way it looks like, I feel like. In my opinion.
We'll go with that. Um, yeah, the Jets +1 at the Cardinals. I'm gonna take the Cardinals in this one without much hesitancy. Yeah, it's a game I could see the Jets going to win. I didn't really see them beating the Texans this week, but they did that. And I don't see it happening against the Cardinals this week. I think the Cardinals are decently built. They're doing a decent job. 5-4, looking to make it 6-4, which would put them in a really good spot to challenge for that division. Uh, I don't love the Jets this year. That's been voiced pretty clearly, and I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
I think the Jets are gonna blow him out.
Yeah, all right. That's a
Please.
Surge. We
From
just
your
gained
mouth to God's ears, man.
Surge. We just gained a
Please.
game back.
Please.
Here's
Please.
and the fire alarm
I
actually
will
goes off
lose
in my
that game
apartment.
happily if that happens.
Look, we gotta have some. You know what I was and excuse me. I think you guys need to respect me a little because I was gonna pick the Cardinals because I didn't want to lose the game to you guys for record wise. I think the Jets are gonna win,
Oh yeah, I respect you for that, but not for the
and
Cardinals.
I know they're not gonna win. Like
This team is too
I s-
no, I get
like
what you're saying.
I
This team
don't
is
know
too
what's gonna happen.
talented to be
I
three and
yeah.
seven.
They're not too
But
talented. They're 3-7.
I'm talking
I'm
about
gonna
on
go
paper
Jets. Again, this what this will either be a handout to you guys or this will be a huge win for me. But I'm gonna go Jets. I really hope they. I think the Cardinals are good. I just don't think they're anything special. Like they might be a wild card team and they'll probably lose.
they're a well coached team they're a well coached team with top 10 quarterback. Marvu starting to come into his own, good running game. I like the makeup of the offense. It's not perfect, but it's a good
Can
offense.
we just can we just clarify that Rodgers is not a top 10 quarterback right now?
I said Kyler. I meant Kyler.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Cardinals.
Okay, good. Because yeah, that one hurt my soul a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah. Next game, Eagles, Cowboys. Look, the Eagles, and again, I feel like we're generally not a very mainstream media aligned podcast. Like, I mean? Like, we're not always just spewing the things that everybody is saying. I have to 100% agree with that. And this is the only thing. The Eagles might be the only team in the NFL that are winning right now while having a bad coach. I think Sirianni's awful.
I agree. I agree. I'm
I
just
think
trying to
he
think if there are
coaches
any
them like it's
others.
Madden. I think he coaches them
They
like it's
that
Madden.
was that was a
He
20
kind
point
of
win.
has a
That
Madden roster.
Like, yeah,
that
sure.
was a
They
that
have
was a
that's
20
exactly what it
point
is.
win that
They
should if
win and it's
any
somehow
normal
not
coach
satisfying.
if any with any normal coach that's a 20-point win. Like the decisions when to go for it, when to kick it were all wrong. They should have won that a lot more comfortably than it was. But for this game, I think the Eagles have actually been playing really good football though recently. Like the Bengals game was the most impressive game that really kind of changed my perception of Philly. They look like they're kind of starting to click, and I thought after the Jaguars like first half, they were really kind of almost back. But then you have that second half, which again exacerbated by Sirianni's deficiencies, which I feel like are gonna cost them come January. But for now, I think against a Cowboys team that are gonna be without Dak, really don't have any lifeline right now. Philly are gonna win this one pretty comfortably.
Yeah, agreed. It makes me so unbelievably happy how much the Cowboys suck. It's really just, ugh, it's incredible for my heart. It feels great. Um, yeah, I am also going to take the Eagles. It also really hurts my heart that Saquon Barkley invented a new skill
Oh
move.
my God. That's play of the
It
season for
looks
me
like it's
right
in
now.
reverse.
That was
The
insane.
picture of him floating on top of whoever it was, but backwards. They're
Who
adding that
even
skill.
thinks to try that? How do you
They're
know that you can do that?
This is why Nick Sirianni's coaching a Madden team because he has players that pull crap like straight out of Madden.
But I will
Saquon
say,
Barkley,
That's not
like
even in Madden. I don't think you
but
could do that.
it's not.
his hurdle didn't do anything. Like it didn't
It
like
added 5 yards.
Yeah,
It added
I
five
mean,
yards.
it.
it's
How
it
he
was
jumped up and
so
down.
Well,
it
no,
was
but he
so
jumped, but the jump
ridiculous.
was like also went further up the field.
But it was also
And if he
to
got
me like
tackled,
that jump was incredible, but it wasn't even, the most yard efficient part of that play. The
no, that was a
move to
spin.
the spin move was incredible.
The cut
And
into the
then
spin.
And then he's got like three defenders coming at him. And what does he decide to do? He does like a 360 reverse dunk. But in football, eh,
That was like
he never did
the
that for
spin move.
us.
The spin move felt like something straight out of Madden 20, where like the superstar abilities were overpowered. It was just absurd.
It was not fair. And I mean, he never did that stuff for us. And it hurts, but he's a really, really good football player. I mean, it wasn't even on a run play. It was a pass that he caught and broke a tackle, juke into a spin, jumps over someone, gets pushed forward. It looks like he gained about 7 yards on this jump, which just makes no sense because he jumped backwards over a defender. That's enough.
Mm.
Jerking off Saquon Barkley, but
Oh. Oh wait, who do we pick? Eagles, yeah. That's what I was
Eagles.
gonna
Yeah,
pick. All right,
Eagles.
yeah. We'll move on now. Lions, Texans, good game. Obviously, Lions, I think, are
Ooh.
far and away the best team in football right now. I've been saying this for the past 2 weeks. I think they are the Super Bowl favorite. I think, well, they definitely are now, but I mean, no, the Chiefs are gonna beat them because it's whatever. But um, I think the Lions are gonna win this game handedly. The Texans, again, a team that should be kind of, I mean, not what the Lions are now, but the Texans should be a big Super Bowl favorite, and obviously are not. Um, but yeah, I mean, to me, this is a Lions win. I think it'll be a good game. Nevertheless, you have two very talented teams.
Mm.
I just think the Lions are coached better, and I think that they don't make those one mistake a game. Like they just don't make mistakes.
Yeah, well, hopefully the Lions have a new pass rusher before this game. Cough, cough, Zadarius Smith. Because right now I think that's the one weakness. They don't really have any pressure. They aren't able to get pressure on the edge. I mean, they have Lynn McNeil and DJ Reader who are phenomenal in the interior, but they need guys on the edge, and I think they're gonna get that guy. I think they're gonna win this one. I think Lions win this one. Nico Collins is coming back, which is huge for the Texans, but the Texans, even with him, haven't really been that impressive. Their offensive line has really struggled, particularly in the interior, where Detroit are going to really make their living. And I think that's going to be a big game. I think also with the duo of Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, who have been maybe the best safety tandem in the league this year, they're going to kind of not allow CJ Stroud to get those big plays to Nico, which he's lived off of a lot of games. And I think that's going to be the difference for this one. So give me Detroit.
Do you want to? I'm curious what you guys think of this because do you guys know who Mike Tannenbaum is?
I do. Former Jets
you-
GM.
Did you see the proposal he
The
put out
Miles
today?
Garrett one.
The Miles Garrett
Oh
deal.
my God.
What is it?
It was
So
two first,
Mike,
right?
wait,
Two
hang on.
first.
Mike Tannenbaum said that the Lions should offer to the Browns in exchange for Miles Garrett 3 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
I thought it was 2 first, 2 seconds, but either way, it's still terrible.
Bro, imagine Miles Garrett and
But
Aiden
it's Miles
Hutchinson.
Garrett.
It's Miles Garrett, but no.
And adding
No,
Miles
I would
Garrett
go
to this
that.
Lions team guarantees the Super Bowl.
It never guarantees the Super Bowl. When you have
Guarantees the
Patrick
Super Bowl.
Mahomes.
But
When
Charlie,
Patrick
we see-
Mahomes is playing, it
Yeah.
never guarantees the Super Bowl.
And at least this gives them the best shot. Sorry, if it's not guaranteed.
Does it? I mean,
Yes.
no Jahmyr Gibbs. You're losing Jahmyr Gibbs.
But you have
And then
David
you're
Montgomery.
you're also costing yourself like in the future for like a
You
later
are,
one or
but
the next
isn't it
year.
worth a Super Bowl?
But I don't think it makes it that much. It doesn't make a big enough of a difference for me. Even with Miles Garrett, you're losing one of the best running backs in the league. You're losing so much draft capital that could, if you don't win the Super Bowl this year, you still have good chances the next few years. That would be the worst trade in the history of the Detroit Lions. That
Totally disagreed. I agree with you in the sense that if I'm the Lions, I'm probably not doing it. But you act as if this sets something up badly for the future, but it doesn't because then you have still all your players minus Jahmyr Gibbs plus Miles Garrett. And now you don't get draft picks, but your defensive line has Miles Garrett and Aiden Hutchinson on it. Your offense is still incredibly high powered. And you work on the secondary a little bit, and that's still a team that's competing for the Super Bowl for the next 5 years.
no, it is, but I think it just doesn't allow them to make a lot of changes in the future.
But when
And I
they
don't-
make that big change, they're saying that they're okay with not making huge changes in the future.
No, you have to change your team year to year. You can't go with the same team every single
I'm
year.
not saying the same 53 guys, but when you add Miles Garrett to this already incredible team, again, I'm not saying I would do this trade if I was the Lions, but I don't think it's the worst thing of all time.
No, I mean, it's a fun hypothetical, but at the end of the day, it would never
Agreed. It's not
happen,
going to
so,
happen. It's not
yeah.
going to happen. It's just, I thought it was really funny. This came up.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Do you have-
I'm
Lions will
also,
win.
I don't think I gave my pick, but I am going to
Yeah.
pick the Lions because this is the Lions that we all knew we were going to see this year.
Mhm.
We all knew it. They had shades of this last year, and now they're cooking. They're cooking up a complete storm, and good luck to anyone who comes in their path and tries to stop them. It won't go well. I could see the Lions team winning out and going 16-1.
Yeah.
Without much difficulty.
Lions win. Next one, Monday night. No Dylan, thank God. Dolphins, Rams. Rams
I
win.
mean, that was almost a season-saving win from Miami there if they could have pulled that off. But of course, Tyler Bass, who is one of the worst kickers in the league,
and
made a
Tua.
62-yarder. Tua had a good game, actually, to be
He
fair.
can't take snaps.
Oh,
You
yeah,
see
that
how
is
many
an issue.
snaps he fumbles?
That is an issue. That
It's
is an
because he
issue.
has 4 million concussions. I'm telling you that's why. That never happened before the last one. Like this one has put it over the line. Like he cannot really see now.
Well, he's still been very accurate. He's still been very good in the pocket. I still think he's a great not a great quarterback. He's still a good
Servage.
quarterback. Someone has to be the Tua advocate when Dylan's not here.
No,
I have
no one does. That's the greatness of it. We can just talk so much trash about him and have
But
no
I think
context. And Dylan just
I
has
really-
to watch it. I know he hates watching it because he's like, damn, I can't say anything.
But I really like this Rams team. I think Los Angeles, we thought they were kind of out of the playoff race after starting 1-4 with all their injuries, but now getting healthy with Puka, with Cooper Cup, with a defensive line that is really exciting for me. I mean, Jared Verse is arguably, I think, the favorite for defensive rookie of the year. Braden Fisk has also been phenomenal, and you have still Kobe Turner and Byron Young, also guys who are capable of getting pressure. And against a weak Dolphins offensive line, that's going to kill them. So I think the Rams win this one.
Yeah, I have a little inkling that I want to pick the Dolphins in this one just because I think they've looked a lot better since Tua's came back.
Mhm.
Um, I know he's had a little trouble taking snaps, but they have put up 27 points in each of the last 2 weeks. They've just been outscored on the other side of the ball. So for me, I am more worried about the Dolphins defense. Is there, did Puka get hurt this week?
No, he was ejected.
He was ejected. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't sure. I just know that he came out at some point. I don't remember why.
Yeah.
Um, Cup looks good. The Rams have won 3 straight. So I think my gut is telling me to pick the Rams here, but I really wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins went into Los Angeles and beat them. I will go Rams though for the sake of this pick.
Rams, well, there we go. I like Rams. Yeah, I mean, I think, oh yeah, and Rams obviously fully healthy are a fantastic football team, are a contender. Um, and I just, again, I don't think the Dolphins, even with Tua, are that this year. And that'll end it out. Week 10 predictions as we're halfway, or we're like basically halfway through the
I
season, or
would
like,
say so. Yeah, I think so.
yeah,
Oh, no, we're
uh,
past halfway because week 9 is like the midpoint.
yeah, like, yeah,
Now
yeah.
this is the
So,
second half of the season.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
And already.
Surridge, I was gonna say something bad about you, but I couldn't think of
Wow. What?
it. Thank you all
What'd I
so much for
do?
watching. As always, thank you for listening to the tangents we go on. Subscribe to the channel. Key McDermott, Serge Kelly, Charlie Nidell will be back next week. Potential podcast number 2 this week. Potentially.
Stay tuned.
Maybe stay tuned. As always, follow us on all our social medias. We post clips of every podcast. And yeah, obviously during the season, mostly predictions once playoffs come around, and then draft and all of the goodness that comes with the National Football League. So subscribe to the channel for more. I want to thank you guys all for 2,000 subscribers. Obviously,
That's been.
yeah, I know. You
Oh,
guys
yeah,
remember
yeah,
when
right.
I did
Come on, man. Come on.
that? Thank you all so much for watching, and
3,000 by the end of the year.
3,000 by the end of the year. We'll see you next time.